This is the Chapter 5, Part 2 section of the UDOITs. Basically, all you have to do is create a class whose name is Event. Event is going to be used by another program because, as you can tell, there is no main method here, so that tells us immediately that this is not a standalone program. It cannot be independent. It must be dependent on something else that does contain a main method. Now, in the event class, the very first thing we're going to do is declare three variables: an integer, a double, and a string, because we are going to need those three items at some point throughout this program in our gets and our sets. So we have to declare them. Now, what is going to take place here is the getting and the setting of three different items or objects, which is the type of event, the rate, and the manager. This one is a little bit different than, as you will recall, event site in Chapter 3, I believe it was, or one of the previous chapters, where they had get and set together. You can group them as all gets and all sets. Just make sure there's some logical fashion to what you're doing. Now, the very first thing that is taking place here is you are going to get a type, so this has to be a method, and you are going to return something. So you have to make sure that in your method header you have the declaration of the item that you're going to return, which in this case is going to be an integer because we're returning type of event. Type of event is going to be an integer, so we must have integer or int in the method header. We're going to do the same thing there for rate. We're returning a rate, and the rate in this case is a double. Then we're going to get the manager, which again, manager is a string, so we have that declaration in the method header. When you are setting up sets and gets, basically all a set is the ability to go in and assign a value to a variable, or in most cases a variable, sometimes it could be a constant. I'm not doing anything special. I'm just saying, all right, this variable is equal to this. That's all I'm doing. The get statements, I'm going to go and get a value and return it back to another location. The best example I can give you for this is I want you to pick up a stack of books and I want you to go and set them on a table in another room. All you're going to do is pick the books up, walk to another room, set the books down on a table, and come right back. You're not bringing anything back. You're just going to take the books. That's a set method. With the get, I want you to go to the room across the hall, get the stack of books that are sitting on the table, and bring them back. That's all a get method is. Okay? Now, they are constructed a little bit different because with the gets, we must include data types because we are returning something. So every get has to have a data type in the declaration of the, and have it in the method header. And every one of these get methods must also have a return statement. Now with your sets, they are constructed just a little bit different. You have a method header that is going to have the word void because I'm not returning anything. Everything's going to be contained there in that method. Because I am setting the value of something, I'm doing an assignment statement, I have to bring something with me to actually assign to the variable that's located in that method. So you're always going to have an argument in that method header. So in this particular place with set type, I'm going to do event type. I bring event type with me, and all I'm doing is saying, all right, event type, the integer I just brought with me, let's set that value to type of event. Period. I'm done. We're going to do the same thing for set rate. We're going to bring with us a double whose name is event rate. We're going to take event rate, and now rate equals event rate. We're going to do the same thing for manager. We're going to bring with us a string whose name is manager name. Manager name is now equal to manager. All we did was a simple assignment statement. We're going to compile the program because it is important that it compiles. If you remember though, it's not going to run because there is no main method. I'm going to hit run just for the heck of it. And you'll notice here that it does come up and tell us that there is no main method applet, okay, or it can't run by itself. So there's nothing here that can support this as an independent program. Okay? So I'm just going to simply tell it okay. So remember, anything without a main method cannot be executed. It can be compiled, and compiling is important because that just simply means that this program is going to be dependent on something else, and if this one won't compile, it's going to cause you errors when you start trying to compile the one it's linked to. That is the conclusion of part 2.